Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Mouse Club podcast. My name is Marissa, and I'm the host of this podcast. If you're new here, welcome. Thank you so much for listening to today's episode. I hope that you all enjoy it. Please be sure to hit the subscribe button on whatever platform you're listening to this on so that you can be notified for future episodes that I post. And if you're coming back, thank you so much for coming back. If you'd like to leave me a rating and review on the Apple Podcast app, I would greatly appreciate it. And if you leave your handle for Instagram, YouTube, whatever, I'll be happy to give you a shout out in my next episode. This week, guys, I have at Alli as always visiting, and I am super excited to have her. I wanted to do an episode about vegan eating at Disney, and I thought she would be the perfect person to help me out with that. So I'm talking to Alli all about her acting experience. I'm talking to her about her YouTube channel. If you don't follow already, she's super fun, and she's been a YouTube friend for a while now, since like quarantine started, I think. And it's so nice to have YouTube friends, and I just love her content. It's so fun, and I hope that you guys like it as well. So I'm really excited to have Alli on the podcast, and we mention a lot of really, really good vegan foods and places to eat in Disney and Universal. So if that applies to you, this is the perfect episode for you. And also, if you're not vegan, that's okay. There's still so many takeaways from this episode with Alli, and I think you guys are really going to enjoy it. And you might be a little bit hungry, so you might need a little snack before we talk about all this food at the different parks. But yes, I'm really, really excited for you guys to hear this episode. It is a pretty long one, so I'm going to do the Mouse Club news really quickly. But I did want to let you all know to please be sure to follow me at the Mouse Club Podcast on Instagram. And that is where I post a lot of polls, questions. I'm going to be asking you all for stories soon. And it's just a party over there. It's so much fun. I've been pretty bad on posting recently because I've been so busy. But please be sure to follow me over there. Anyway, let's go ahead and dive into some Mouse Club news. So the first thing is the Mandalorian Season 2 trailer was officially released. So if you want to go check that out, you can find it on a lot of different platforms. You can find it on the Disney Plus Instagram page. I think it might be on the Disney Instagram page. You can probably find it on YouTube. But I'm really, really excited for Mandalorian Season 2. It was also announced that Universal is going to have 2 Horror Nights houses available for daytime guests. These are going to be The Bride of Frankenstein Lives and Revenge of the Tooth Fairy. And I'm really confused how they're going to do this with social distancing and everything else, but I'm really curious and I'm excited to see how it goes. So we'll definitely see. Also, the new fall offerings and cavalcades officially rolled out at Walt Disney World, and they look amazing. I love the Boo to You floats and parts of the cavalcade that are related to Boo to You. And lastly, there is a new show called Magic of Disney's Animal Kingdom. It's a National Geographic show, and it's narrated by Josh Gad, who, if you didn't know, plays the voice of Olaf, and that's going to be on Disney Plus on September 25th. So that's all the news. I do want to get into the episode, so I'm going to stop talking now. But I did want to let you know we do cover some very important topics in this episode, like veganism and being a vegetarian, things of that nature. I just want to put a little disclaimer that if you do eat meat or dairy or any of those things, that is totally awesome and you do you, boo. But I didn't want anybody to be upset about us talking about, the environmental and sustainability aspects of veganism. And in no way are either of us judging you for eating any animal products. But we did want to talk about some of the really important aspects of these different types of diet. And I hope that you guys really do enjoy it and enjoy learning about some different things. And I know you guys are going to love Alli. So without further ado, we're going to have a quick break, and then I will see you in a little bit for the episode. So to everybody listening, this is Alli. She has a YouTube channel. It's called @Alli as always. And that's the same handle as your Instagram too, right?
Yeah, I'm pretty much that on everything.
Okay, perfect. So you can find her @Alli as always. And we'll talk about more social media stuff towards the end as well. And I'll have your links in the description box. I always say description box, but it's the show notes. But okay, so Alli, she is a YouTuber. You're an actress. You have a very healthy lifestyle, which I really love.
And on her YouTube channel, you can find so many cool videos. She does like makeup. She does like, what's the word? Fantasy videos like Game of Thrones, Lord of the Rings, The Witcher, those sorts of
Yeah,
things.
all I can really say is that I'm a huge nerd.
That's totally fair. And you also do a lot of travel too, which travel is my favorite videos to watch. So those are super fun. And
Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, just before I would have had like a slew of travel videos this year, but you know, there's always hopefully next year.
Right. I totally feel that. We were supposed to go to Vegas and Ohio, like a bunch of places that just are not happening. But hey, next year I feel like it's going to be the best year ever. So that's totally
There
okay.
we go.
But yeah, this is Alli. I brought her on today so we could introduce Alli to you guys. And also she's going to talk about some vegan foods at Disney, which I think is going to be so fun. And I'm super, super excited. So first off, welcome to the podcast, Alli.
Thank you. Happy to be here.
And also, congratulations on moving into your new house and getting married soon.
Yeah, so it's all a little bit of a mess, but like a nice mess. You know, like they say, life is a burrito, a well-hidden mess. That's definitely what I've got going on. Because as of right now, we're thinking of eloping on our initial wedding date in October, and then having our like big church ceremony and reception whenever it's safe, hopefully May. We're shooting for May, and like we were able to rebook everything that we wanted to. Honeymoon, we were going to Hawaii, and it's like our first vacation together.
Ooh,
and
that's exciting.
we've had like family vacations, but I mean, like, you know, just the two of us adventuring and all that. So we kind of moved it to May, but we thought, well, we don't want to wait like a year, because we made this decision back in May. Like we've already been engaged for almost 3 years. So it's like we didn't want to wait another year. So we decided we're just gonna makeshift something. So we're thinking of eloping with our pastor on FaceTime.
Oh, okay.
So I will update if that happens. But yeah, and shortly after that, I'm gonna move in. He's already moved into our new house about 2 weeks ago, but he's quarantining there before I start coming over, because he was living with other people first. So
gotcha.
Yeah,
makes total sense. I know somebody else who did that. I don't know if you've heard of her. Her name is Magical Amelia. That's her handle.
I don't think I have. I'll have to check her out.
Yeah, she's super cute. But her boyfriend just moved here from California.
Oh.
So he also, same thing, quarantined for 2 weeks because he was on the plane and everything. So very scary for sure. Well, I have some questions for you to introduce you to everybody listening.
Okay.
So first off, the whole basis of the episode, of course, we're talking about like vegan eating and stuff. And in your, I was going to say episodes, but your videos, you describe yourself as like a freegan. So I was wondering if you still consider yourself that, and if you could explain to the podcast listeners what that means.
Yes, totally, because I did it today. So basically, a freegan is, it sounds like you're saying a bad word or something, but if you're a freegan, it means a free vegan. So pretty much, if the food is either going to go to waste or it's free in the way that like a family member made it, and causing you're not making more demand for more animal products, then it's kind of fine to eat it, because a lot of people are vegan. You'll see a lot of them, like the big YouTubers are super like into health, like they are raw till 4 or high carb or all that. I have never thought of veganism as anything to do with my health. It's always about, I know this is going to sound cliche, but I just genuinely enjoy healthy food the most. Like the things that I love to eat the most are usually just like fresh fruits and vegetables and things like that. But I don't do it for the health as much as I do it for the animal welfare and for the environment, because it is one of the biggest problems with climate change is the carbon footprint from mass animal production. I mean, the methane that many cows produce, all of the water. If someone, I forgot what the statistic was, but it was something about skipping hamburgers saves more water than not showering for a year.
Yeah, that's insane. Yeah.
So, and a freegan is pretty much like, my mom is almost entirely vegetarian herself,
Mm-hmm.
like pretty close. Both of my parents are pretty close to it as well, but she still buys eggs and cheese. And since
Mm-hmm.
I still live in her house, I still will eat some eggs and cheese. But once I move into my own house and I'm buying all my own stuff, I will only buy vegan food. So
Mm-hmm.
it's kind of like the difference as well. It's already there because my family's eating it.
Yeah.
Or if I like back when you could be around people, if I was at a work party and they had something that wasn't vegan and it's just kind of out on the table, I would eat it because it's, it's already there. It's not like I sat down and ordered it or went and purchased it. So it's kind of just a philosophy of, well, you don't have to be so strict if you're still supporting your cause,
Mm-hmm.
because it might go in the trash anyway. If, especially on those like, oh, it's the last day that these are good, gotta eat them. Thought, well, I'd rather get something out of it than throw it in the trash. So
yeah, I totally agree. I was actually talking about this the other day with somebody because they asked me, like, because I've been a vegetarian. I was vegan for 2 years, but for selfish reasons, I went back to vegetarian. But he was asking me, like, why, if you don't eat meat, why are there so many like fake meat products? Do you know what I mean? And I was trying to explain to him that it's not about the fact that maybe vegans or vegetarians like don't want to eat meat, but it is like the fact that you're helping the environment, you're helping animals. And I was explaining that, one day the food production is going to be a lot different than it is now because of the population growth that we have. So
exactly.
yeah, so one day we're not going to have all these meat products. And I think that it's awesome that like Beyond Burger and Impossible Burger, those are like lab grown, basically, is how they describe it. And I think that that's like basically our future. So that was what I was trying to explain to him, basically.
Yeah, and that is so cool. My fiance is a chemist, and
Oh, really?
yeah, more specifically, he's a biochemist. So he almost considered going into the area where they would research making lab grown meat.
Mm-hmm.
So, because when I met him, he was not even slightly vegetarian. He grew up in a very meat eating family.
Mm-hmm.
And the longer he kind of was around me, it's awkward to eat meat around me. Like, I don't try to make people feel awkward, but no matter how nice I am, people just like can't eat it in front of me. Even if I've said a million times, like, seriously, eat your dinner, it does not bother me.
Yeah.
And so, since we're together, or before all this, we were together like every day, it just kind of slowly, he realized my food that I got or made was better, and he started like phasing out meat more and more, and now he's almost entirely vegan too, and for pretty much the same reasons. The more he learned from me, that's, I don't mean to sound vain, but the more he picked up on like how much better I felt. And not only, he's really, really passionate about the environment as well, because I mean, he's a scientist, and so he sees the scariest parts of what's happening. And so yeah, the lab grown meat is definitely something really intriguing. I'm not gonna lie, it freaks me out, and I probably wouldn't eat it, but I'm glad it's there.
Yeah, for sure. I think it's definitely like something in the future that a lot of people are going to have to rely on, because so many areas just don't have room for food production like they used to, I guess is the best way to describe it. So
Yeah.
especially if the population continues to grow, we'll see, I guess.
Yeah, we'll see
what the future holds. Okay, perfect. So how long have you considered yourself like freegan or vegan or vegetarian?
When I was in high school, I think I was about 15. I remember I decided one day I'm going to be a vegetarian. And that same day, I was sitting down to have dinner with one of my high school friends. And she said, "But Alli, you're eating a chicken salad sandwich." And I was like, dang it. Because I ordered the same thing. I used to be really, really bad about only ordering one thing at restaurants, anywhere I went, because I was quite picky. And I just ordered it on instinct and then forgot that fast. And I will never forget that embarrassing moment. And I tried for a while, but I just did not know what I was doing, and I was still growing, which I think you can definitely be raised vegetarian and grow perfectly well. But when you're to the point that you're mostly feeding yourself, but you're still not an adult. That's the
Right.
trickiest part, because you don't have a grown adult saying, okay, well, you need to also remember this, this, and this, like when you're a kid. I mean, you know, we still had family dinners and stuff, but I still just didn't quite know what I was doing, and it made me feel terrible. So I kind of quit for a few years. And then it was March of 2016. I was just sitting on my bed scrolling on Instagram late one night, and like, I don't want to say vegan propaganda, because I mean, the propaganda was real. It wasn't made up, but it was like a not a PETA account, but something along those lines of showing you animals in cages and all that. And it just kind of clicked with me. You know what? I think I'm going to be a vegetarian. I can't keep, I know that like this doesn't feel right to me, and I can't keep ignoring that just because, you know, everyone else eats it. That's not good enough for me anymore. And I decided to go ahead and go vegetarian first. Definitely made a few mistakes at first, or, you know, forgetting. And I definitely was much better with nutrition this time around, because I was old enough to recognize, like, oh, okay, I need to eat, you know, I need to pack this, this, and this in my lunch, and not just lettuce. Like I knew more, and I was able to research because I was in college by this point. And it just kind of stuck from there. So this year was 4 years. I mean, we're already in mid-September, so getting over 4.5 years. And it's probably been like, I never had the conscious decision I'm going to phase from vegetarian to vegan. I just kind of knew I'm never going to eat meat regularly again, and I would like to phase out, because like I watched what's the Game Changers, is very adequately named. Have you seen that?
No, I haven't.
It is an excellent documentary on Netflix that I hope everyone goes and watches. And it is entirely based on health. It doesn't really mention animal welfare or the environment, which are my two driving factors, but it really, really shows you from a scientific perspective what meat does to the body, and how animal products are so unhealthy, and how some of the strongest and healthiest people in the world are like Arnold Schwarzenegger, like one of the most famous bodybuilders ever, is a vegan now, because all the meat and protein all those years was like ruining his heart and stuff, and probably also steroids, but that's beside the point.
Yeah, for sure.
So yeah, I really recommend watching that one though. But I don't know, I guess it's been about a year ish. It could have been longer. I didn't really keep track. Like I didn't pencil down the date. Like when I decided to go vegetarian, that was like very monumental. Like I declare. And then when I realized I started going vegan, it was just more of a, well, this would be easier. Most of the vegan dishes are just prettier. I'd rather make vegan food, and yeah, just kind of started going that way.
Gotcha. Yeah, there's another movie called Forks Over Knives. I don't know if you've seen it.
I think I watched part of it, yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of a similar concept where it's really about health, but that one was crazy mind-blowing to me as well. So, yeah, it's crazy to think about.
Definitely.
And even like for people who do eat meat, like the biggest thing that does bother me, especially being a waitress, is when people like don't finish the meat that they order. Because I'm like, you're just literally wasting that animal's life. So that drives me crazy. That was something my mom like taught me as I was growing up, was if you're going to eat meat, at least finish it.
Yeah.
So
that's kind of where my freeganism came into play, because my mom's a fairly light eater. And like I said, my family doesn't eat very much meat. Well, I can't really speak for my brother. I don't live with him. I don't know what he eats, but my mom doesn't eat very much meat, but if she had a little bit of chicken or something, which is the only thing she ever even eats anyway, then if she didn't eat all of it, I'm gonna be like, well, it's looking at me, you know, it's just sitting on the plate. It's gonna go to waste. I'm just gonna eat it. But I don't really go out of my way to eat it, because also, I mean, all of my ethic reasons aside, it would probably mess up my stomach at this point.
Oh yeah, for sure. That's what I tell people too. Like, at this point, I feel like my body doesn't produce the enzymes that are needed to break down meat.
Yeah.
So I feel like I'd be so sick if I had like a cheeseburger or something.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I wanted to ask you, since you travel a lot, what your favorite vegan restaurant is that you've ever been to.
Okay, that is pretty easy. Cafe Gratitude in Los Angeles, California.
Okay.
Yeah, it's right off of Melrose Avenue. They have a few locations. That's the one I went to. And fun fact, while I was eating there, the his name is escaping me, but the Irish gentleman that played the farmer in Babe Pig in the City is a devout vegan, and he was sitting in the corner eating.
Oh, that's so cute.
I have to look up his name. And oops, I don't remember how to type anymore. Farmer in Bible. What? I'm pretty sure that's not specific. James Cromwell.
Okay.
This is an American actor and activist. Oh, okay. I'm glad I looked it up. I don't know why I thought he was Irish.
Maybe he like faked an
kind of
accent.
looks. Yeah, I don't remember. In my brain, everyone cool is Irish in my opinion. Like that's just what my brain does because I'm obsessed with Ireland. Oh, speaking of another place, Avoca is a place in Ireland. There's a couple locations. That is some of the best vegan food. Like Ireland in general has some of the best vegan food ever, and you wouldn't expect it, but is it there.
That's super cool. Yeah, I would never think Ireland would have vegan food.
Yeah, there was this one little place in Galway I went to, and I think it was called the Salt Hill something. That week was a blur. It was like the best week ever, but it was a blur. And I got some of the most amazing vegan curry in this, and also so many places there are like literally twice as small as American places. And it was this tiny little restaurant, and it's they have some really good vegan foods. And the Happy Pear is in Greystones, Ireland. It's this beautiful little beach town, and you can actually look it up. It's quite famous. Like their Instagram and everything, and they're on YouTube. It's quite cool. And I suggest checking it out too because they give out so many recipes. But they have some of the best vegan food and a market. I love that when there's a little market inside of the restaurant, so you can like go pick up little treats and stuff. So definitely my top 3 would be the Cafe Gratitude and the Happy Pear, and the one that I already forgot the name of it.
That's super cool though. I definitely have to add those to my list. Have you ever had in Orlando? Well, not Orlando. It's technically Winter Park. There's a restaurant called Ethos.
No, actually, my brother just moved into that area.
Oh, really?
Right before COVID hit. Yeah, pretty close around that area. And I meant to do a lot of exploring. My brother's not so much into vegan food and he usually playfully makes fun of me as big brothers do. But I was going to drag him to some places like that because he always enjoys it when we have it, of course.
Yeah.
And I feel like I may have seen that. I'm not quite sure. But right as I had all this like exploring to do down there, because we can just drive there, you're in Atlanta. So yeah. Just a 7-ish hour drive from here.
Right.
And it didn't happen. So I haven't actually explored any of that yet. But hopefully in the future it will be waiting for me to find.
Oh, yeah. You have to go to Ethos. It's like pretty close to UCF, which is where I went. So it's usually pretty packed because a lot of college kids like are transitioning to vegan, and so I definitely suggest going and putting your name down pretty early because there's usually like an hour to a 2-hour wait, but it's so worth it. Like it's vegan comfort food. So they have like a bunch of like pasta dishes. They have the best cookies ever, but it's so good. And anybody listening who is in Orlando going to Disney, you should definitely check it out too. It's so good.
So, when you asked,
sorry. No, you go first.
I completely forgot to mention Atlanta as far as my vegan food because it's so close to home. I kind of didn't consider it travel, and it just kind of hit me. There's a lot of amazing vegan places in the city.
Oh, really?
And yeah, let's see. I haven't been since last August, even though it's so close. Like I'm like an hour away, but I'm trying to think of the name. It was the Sunshine or no Cafe Sunflower was one of the best vegan restaurants I've ever tried. Like I have a whole vlog on it because it was just amazing, and everything in the whole restaurant was vegan, and it just was absolutely mind-blowing. Urban Fix is another good one. It kind of sketched me out a little bit because I could see into the kitchen and they weren't wearing gloves like a lot of chefs kind of don't. And that, like, I don't care if they wash their hands. I just can't with that.
Yeah.
But soup anyway affect me. But other than that, which hopefully given the current circumstances, you know, things like that are changed a little bit.
Right. Yeah.
But it was still really good. It's a fusion restaurant, Urban Fix is. And True Food Kitchen is a place I really like. It's not a vegan restaurant, but they have a lot of vegan food. The best one is actually in Stanford. It was Stanford area in California and Palo Alto. But the one in Atlanta, it's fine. The food is the same. It's just really loud. And the one in California was more peaceful. And the one in Lenox Square in Atlanta. Now, I get to check it out because, again, pandemic. But they're opening a new True Food in Alpharetta, which might probably have a more peaceful vibe because Alpharetta is more chill in general. But yeah, so just thought I'd add those to the list.
Yeah, those are great. That's a great list. And I definitely have to check some of those out when things are a little bit safer. But that sounds amazing because I have not really explored very many restaurants in like downtown Atlanta because I kind of live, I don't know if you're familiar, but like in the Dunwoody area.
Yeah.
So I'm a little bit out from the city, but so I've mostly been going like to the perimeter mall and things in that area, but I definitely want to do more in downtown before we move. So
yeah, the Ponce de Leon area is just my bread and butter.
Yeah.
That is just my absolute favorite area. It's like the kind of hipster area, but it's got a lot of cool stuff. So I stayed in this really cool bed and breakfast there one time while I was on a set. It was a multi-day shoot, and so we had to rent a place. So yeah.
Oh, that's so cool.
Oh, one more place I just remembered. It's just coming out of my brain. Upbeat is one of my favorite places. It's off of Howell Mill Road, and it's right near downtown. But it's kind of like make your own bowl place. They have smoothies and bowls and all like not purple, like blue lattes, like the spirulina lattes.
Cool.
They probably have a purple one too, but they have amazing stuff and you can kind of customize it. Another place, not entirely vegan, but almost everything there is, so it's like super vegan friendly. But okay, I'll stop adding to the list now, I promise.
That's okay. I'm sure everybody listening probably appreciates it because now we all have a list to check out for sure. So thank you for that. I'm excited. I want to definitely check some of those places out. And you mentioned just now about like shooting and stuff. So I wanted to talk about like if like acting and everything contributed to you starting your YouTube channel.
Yes. So I've been into acting pretty much my whole life since I was little bitty and did church plays. I didn't actually develop my interest in film acting until I was probably in late high school or mid high school to late high school when I realized that, like, you know, I want to be a movie actor. I don't want to be a stage actor. But when I was in high school, that just wasn't really an option. You know, 10 years ago when I was 15, it just wasn't really here yet. You had to be, it wasn't as attainable as it is now to just get an agent and go hit the ground running. You know, back even a decade ago, you had to move to a big city and, you know, change your whole life and dedicate your whole life to the trade and become a child actor. And it just was not as accessible as it is now. And once things started coming to Columbus, it kind of all fell together because all of my theater connections ended up being film connections because those people were going into film. And it kind of was a little bit of a foot in the door. So when I was in high school, I didn't actually do that much live theater. I was in some stuff, like really small town kind of stuff. But I was part of a theater academy. I don't really want to say the name because I don't like to give away my precise location online. Like my general Atlanta area thing is out there, but I try not to say my exact city. So if I say the name of the theater, it is a really iconic one, so I don't really want to. I'll tell you in private if you'd like, but it's a pretty iconic theater, and I did my theater academy training there all through high school, and all the people I met there, because I was homeschooled, so my real base of like networking came entirely from this theater, and it was all like all my friends wanted to go to Broadway and West End and stuff like that. Very few of them really wanted to be in film. And then I got accepted into my university, which is also in my hometown, which is pretty convenient. And I majored in theater, but I knew I was interested definitely by the time I went to college that I wanted to be in film. But we didn't have a film degree yet. So I kind of, I minored in integrated media, which is actually under the computer. And that was where I learned how to edit, how to film, how to write. All of those kind of things were under my communications major or minor. But in theater, it was still, I felt a little trapped for a while of there's all these people wanting to go to Broadway. And I mean, being on a stage is fine, but I want to be on a set. And then a mutual person that I used to know suggested that I sign up for this newsletter called Project Casting. And it was something that, a friend of hers had gotten an audition. You don't need an agent. It's free. And I thought, this sounds like a scam, but I looked into it anyway. And sure enough, Project Casting is real. If you sign up for the newsletter, half of it is just telling you celebrity drama. And then the other half of it is actual casting calls that are really good to get your foot in the door. So 14, I had submitted to be an extra in the Goosebumps movie. And I actually got it. And I thought, you might as well have told me I had the lead role in something, because I was so ecstatic.
Yeah.
And that was when we stayed in the little B&B on Ponce de Leon. And like, I felt like a rock star, because it was my first experience on set. And I didn't end up making it into the movie. Like, the back of my head is in one frame, and you would only know if like you're me. But it was still really fun. They still paid really well. And there was like 300 people there. It was not a cozy setting. But I did have one scene where I can't remember the actor's name, but he played Clay in 13 Reasons Why, and he was in Goosebumps. I was like walking right behind him over and over for like an hour to film this one scene that they ended up cutting. But, that's how it goes.
Yeah.
And then I didn't really do much for a while because I was so busy with school. I was a straight A student. I spent every waking minute with my head in a book. I was quite literally Hermione down to having frizzy hair. Like, I just didn't really, I dedicated so much time to learning my craft and in my acting classes, which by this point in college, so many of my acting professors were also into film. So they were really helpful because they didn't give us the larger than life film experience. I was actually Meisner trained. Because that's what my professor's specialty was in. So that's, kind of emotional recall is kind of there's a big debate. Some people get really heated about it being called that. Some people think it's great, but it's a more kind of a realism form of acting. And it was really helpful for transitioning into film. Then the Georgia Film Academy came to my university and partnered with us at a certain point. And all of a sudden, before you knew it, the film scene was here. Atlanta became this huge film hub that it felt like it had. Auditions were going out left and right. I'm like the callback queen. I always get a callback and then very rarely get the role. But, at least it still makes you feel a little bit good when you get a callback. You're like, oh, well, they still liked me enough to want to see it again.
Right.
I actually made it to a screen test for a role in a documentary. Never even found out what it was because they didn't release the real names. To this day, I never saw the finished movie, but it was pretty cool because I got to go to Pinewood Studios, and that was summer of I think 2016.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, since then, I actually got myself into Actors Access, which is a real actors tool. You pay for it every year, and you have all of your media, headshots, everything on it. And it's a way before you have an agent, because I still don't have an agent. That was my goal for this year, and I actually had a reference to go meet one in the city, and that didn't happen. So hopefully next year.
Yeah.
But I got into, let's see, I'm trying to remember the order of the things I did. I was the lead in an indie movie that never came out, but it was still a great experience. but it never came out. So there's that. But I still, I got a little bit of footage from it. And then I just recently, about a week ago, I made it into 20 seconds of an indie film that's going to a bunch of different film festivals. It's called Electric Jesus. And it's about a hair band in the 80s, like not exactly a hair band. It's like a Christian hair metal band. And it was really fun. Like I said, I made 20 seconds, which is actually, I mean, it's not bad. I'm used to getting entirely cut out. I was in American Soul, but I got entirely cut out, but I was just in the background anyway. Last year I was in Dolly Parton's Netflix show, and I actually, one of the episodes, I made it full. It was the first time I was featured on film. I think I have a video, I don't remember what it's called, from Christmas time last year, where I was nearly in tears.
Aww.
On Netflix, and there I was, and it was like the first time I felt like a real actor. That like the episode is called Down from Dover, and it's in the first few minutes I'm in a high school graduation, and I'm in it and like walking around the background for a while, and I didn't even have a line, but it was just like so important for like those first few career moments where like the first time you see yourself on film. There's just nothing like it if you're an actor. It's just so cool.
Yeah,
and
that's super cool.
the last thing I've done in film so far is Bad Boys for Life, which was one of the most chaotic days of my life, but it was awesome. And I found myself. I definitely was not really that featured. I was in a featured scene. The scene got cut, but I still got to act in a scene kind of with Charles Melton from Riverdale, so that was fun. He was really nice.
That's super cool.
To this day, I hate myself a little bit because the thing I said to him was, "Hi, Charles. You're great on Riverdale." Like every other person probably walks up to him and says. But so sorry if that was long-winded, but that was kind of my experience in acting. And my next step is wait for COVID to go away and then get an agent so I can audition for actual speaking roles, which is nearly impossible if you don't have an agent. Really big barrier. But my YouTube started out with me traveling. Like my family has been traveling for years. We started going to Disney in 2008, and we started going a bunch of places, and I decided when we went to California back in the beginning of 2018 that I wanted to start vlogging because I watched YouTube all the time. Like I first got started with Markiplier, and I watched him all the time, and that's the first time I realized 2014 that YouTubing was a thing now instead of just a place where like there was Fred. That was all I thought of as YouTube growing up. And then I started watching some lifestyle YouTubers and then some travel YouTubers. And I watched for 3 years before I decided, you know what? I think I'm going to try my hand at this. So I've been doing it for not too far away from 3 years, but 2 point something years. And my acting definitely influenced it, but I think my YouTube is kind of a thing of its own. Like it's just kind of its own entity in my life of let me record things and be a total goofball and show everyone, because why not? I was a theater kid, definitely. I talk a lot, if you haven't gathered that by now.
I do too. It's totally okay. Yeah, that's super cool. I mean, Georgia is just booming with the film industry right now. It is crazy. And I know they were going to do Stranger Things season 4, which I had signed up to do extra work with that. And then, of course, everything got canceled. So,
yeah, I had a friend send me a casting notice the other day, and I was like, I appreciate that, but I'd rather not die. So I'm going to pass. Because it's not like you can social distance or wear masks on the set.
Right.
What they're doing for like The Witcher 2, season 2, is that all of the actors are pretty much confined on set. They can't go anywhere. They have people making food there, and they get COVID tested like twice a week. And that's how they can control major sets like that. But when you've got extras coming into play, that's when you've got a problem. So I don't know what they do about extras.
Right.
I don't because you can't quarantine normal people that aren't getting paid a huge amount of money to
Right.
stay there for 2 weeks. So it's just I've accepted putting my entire life on hold until I feel comfortable, which
Yeah.
I mean, it sucks, but it is what it is.
Yeah, for sure. It's definitely unfortunate, but I mean, everybody's life is definitely more important than anything else. So
Yeah, but
yeah,
it'll be back to normal one day. Just gotta keep on waiting.
right, for sure. Okay, awesome. Well, I guess we can kind of start moving into Disney stuff.
Yes.
So I wanted to talk about, like, have you always been a Disney fan? Did you start becoming a Disney fan as an adult?
So my family wasn't super into it. I mean, I always loved the movies, that's for sure. They brought my little LOL, I'm the little one. They brought my big brother. I was thinking when my brother was little, they brought him to Disney in like the 80s, and there was just not nearly as much there. They went during a time where a bunch of stuff was being refurbed, and so you couldn't ride too much anyway. And they thought it was fine, but it wasn't anything too crazy.
Right.
And then I forgot, honestly, the exact reason we decided to go ahead and go. But when I was 12 in 2008, we decided to give it a shot. And we instantly fell in love with it. We ended up getting annual passes, and we went every single year. This is going to be the first year since then that we did not go. Because my last time there was the first few days of December. My brother moved. He didn't move to like right to Disney, but I don't want to say where he lives, but he moved to Florida, close enough by that when we were helping him move, then we drove on over to Disney and spent a few days just kind of joshing about. And I wish I'd known to stay longer then, because I thought we were gonna come back for his birthday in March, and that didn't happen.
Right.
But yeah, we just really loved it. And then we started going several times a year. We would go for like Halloween weekends, Christmas weekends, a full week, usually every May. And then we kind of decided, we actually went to California in 2018 when I started. That's what started my channel. That California series is the very origins of my channel. And my dad had to have this insane surgery, and they only did it in like 2 locations in America. And the original place was this doctor in the Stanford University Medical Center. And he had to have like a screen removed from his arteries that had broken apart, like a blood clot screen.
Oh, geez.
And yeah, it was defective, and it was like on TV, like if you were a loved one or whatever, like he was in that situation.
Oh,
so
geez.
we flew out there, and it went, thank God it went really well. And it went well enough that my dad's a special person anyway, but within 2 days with us after having surgery on 9 of his arteries.
Yeah, he was ready to have some fun probably after that surgery.
Doctor just said, just don't ride anything crazy, and just the walking will actually be good for you. It makes the blood flow. So we're like, all right.
Aww.
So we went to Disneyland for a few days, and I'm going to say something really controversial, if that's okay.
Oh boy, okay, let's hear it.
I like Disneyland more than Disney World.
Ooh, that is controversial.
It's just love Disney World, but going to Disneyland to me, it's like the original place. And I'm not gonna lie, I think it's the weather. I'm just less irritated. I don't feel like I'm walking through a swamp because it's just like dry. It's just without anyone having surgeries, we decided to go on to Disneyland again and spent about a week. And that's kind of my biggest Disney love started when I was a preteen, and I still absolutely love going to the parks. I love all the parks. I have been missing it so badly. So I'm also a Disney fan a bit. I don't watch Disney movies all the time. I'm more of a park stan, but I still do like enjoy all this stuff. Like I love me some Moana. It's one of my favorites.
Oh, same. Yeah, I totally agree. I I'm even thinking like I would love to move to California if it wasn't for like the earthquakes and the wildfires and all of that. Because it is so pretty. And I agree. I think Disneyland is super nostalgic, which makes it like really special, I think.
I've been saying for years, the single only thing stopping me from California is the natural disasters.
Yeah.
It's just perfect in every way for me. But
Yeah.
there's earthquakes. I mean, it's so freaking that. I mean, it's just on fire right now.
Oh, yeah. I know. It's crazy. Yeah. It's very sad for sure. But it is beautiful there. And I mean, they probably think the same thing about us. They're probably like, why do people live on the East Coast with all the hurricanes?
Yeah.
But I honestly, I guess maybe just because I've lived here my whole life on the East Coast, that I'm just more willing to receive a hurricane than an earthquake, I guess.
Yeah, because I mean, a hurricane you can, but you don't know, you have no idea.
There's so much uncertainty.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure, which is terrifying. And a wildfire too. Like you only have a little bit of time to get out of there.
Yeah.
So.
There's a Disney YouTuber. Well, he does a lot of stuff. He does a lot of travel and like history. But do you watch Just Hard?
I don't.
Okay, I definitely check him out. Like a pretty big channel, but he was talking about the wildfires because he lives in the show. Like it's just absolutely insane to see it firsthand like that from someone vlogging it.
Yeah,
it's very oof.
Oh, I'm sure it's terrifying. Especially if you have like kids or something, you have to get out really fast. I was going to ask you too about your wedding, if you're going to have any Disney nods in your wedding, any little touches or anything.
Yeah, actually. So some subtle Cinderella nods.
Ooh.
Which is a little funny because I'm definitely more of a quirky princess kind of like Rapunzel. Rapunzel's my jam, but Cinderella just kind of made sense because it's gonna be a little strange because it was supposed to be a fall wedding, so we have all of these blown glass pumpkins to put on the table. But now it's going to end up, we can have it by May, it's going to be a spring wedding. Right. So it made sense to shift the theme from like elegant fall to Cinderella because that has no time of the year really, and there's pumpkins, and all the pumpkins we have are pastel blue, purple, silver, and pink. None of them are orange or it's all pastels. And so I'm going to get some glass slippers offline that like little tiny, it's really made of plastic, but like to put on each table. And so it's going to be, and there's going to be fairy lights everywhere. So
that'll be so cute.
Yeah, things kind of Cinderella-esque, but not like overtly, just little nods.
Yeah, that's super cool. And I know that you like, so on Alli's channel, if you guys have not seen her channel yet, she does some gaming videos as well. So I wanted to ask you if you've ever played any Disney games like Kingdom Hearts or anything like that. Which ones were your favorite?
Yeah, so I've tried to play Kingdom Hearts a few times, and the last time I tried, I was actually in high school. I don't know why. I'm like the lamest person on earth because I just can't get into it. Like,
oh man.
Yeah, I don't know why. Nothing like wrong with it. I got stuck too often, and then just kind of gave up. And I think I remember playing a school PS2 Tarzan game or something. But other than that, I'm not too into Disney games, I guess.
Yeah.
Not that I dislike them. I just don't really have any to share that I've played. My jam has been like Pokemon and Mario games.
Yeah.
So,
like the Nintendo world.
Yeah, Nintendo is Spyro. Oh my gosh, Spyro.
I still need to play Spyro. I still have never played it before.
Oh my gosh. My PS2 broke, otherwise I played all the time.
Oh yeah, I have one now, but I haven't played in a while because I really just play Kingdom Hearts and Crash Bandicoot.
Oh, I used to
But
love Crash.
oh my gosh, it's so fun. But now, like, I'm just addicted to Animal Crossing, so that's pretty much all I play.
I'm about to. I know this is like so embarrassing, but I received a Switch literally a month and a half ago, and I keep not opening it because I want to do it on camera and like have a vlog out of it. And
Yeah.
you know, that quarantine life, I'm like, but I don't want to get made up right now.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
so
for sure.
I keep not doing it. So
Yeah. As soon as you do, I've got a bunch of stuff ready for you. So I'm excited.
oh, I'm so excited. I'm gonna do it tomorrow morning. I really am.
Okay, cool. When you do, let me know. And whenever you can travel, you can come on over, and I've got a bunch of things on my island ready for you.
Oh my gosh, that would be amazing.
Of course. Well, I guess, okay, so that's pretty much all my questions. So I guess we can start talking about some vegan foods at Disney.
Okay.
So I have a list here. I know you have some favorites as well. So I guess we can just kind of maybe go back and forth, or we can talk about each park, or
Yeah,
whichever
I
you prefer.
have made a list by park and resort.
Okay,
And
perfect.
I threw in some honorable mentions because I've something about me to absolutely note is I'm quite the foodie. Like,
Oh,
even
same.
before, I love food way too much. I
Same.
just food is just quite awesome. I don't know why I'm rambling on about how much I love food, but there you go. But when I travel, I don't focus on being vegan as much as being vegetarian, but I definitely seek out when I can.
Yeah,
And it
I
has
agree
gotten
with you.
so much easier over the years. So my list
Yeah.
is pretty long now, and not to mention all the things, because something to note about Disney that it can be good or it can be heart
Horrible.
shattering is that they
Yes.
change the menus every 3 months.
Oh my gosh, I totally feel that. And especially like when a new land or something opens and like you see all the bloggers and stuff posting about these foods, and then you get to try it and you're like, this is not all that it was cracked out to be. That is like the saddest moment, I feel like.
Yes, and yeah, I totally agree with that. As far as, let me start Magic Kingdom.
So if you're listening, you might want to grab a snack because we're about to name some pretty delicious foods. I'm just saying, you might be a little bit hungry after this.
Yeah. So as far as Magic Kingdom, this park is honestly one of the most hurting for vegan foods. It's kind of sad, but Pecos Bill has always got my back.
Oh yeah, their food is
So
delicious.
back in the day, they used to have saute food bar, and then they had this amazing veggie burger, but they discontinued that when it switched from, like, it used to be more frontiery, and then it switched to being Southwest.
Right.
And now it used to be off menu, then off menu, and then last time I haven't been there in almost a year. Like, the longest gap I've ever had. Is very depressing, but
yeah,
they have bowls and burrito bowls, and they're vegan. You put cheese on yourself on the bar so you can control it as vegan, and that's really good.
Yeah, I love that. It reminds me of Chipotle because you have that toppings bar.
Yes.
And I just can't believe that they have the guac out there because you could literally put like as much guac as you want, or at least when I went. I don't know if they've changed it, but
I think that they went ahead and stopped now because people were probably
smothering
into
guac.
backpacks.
Oh, I'm sure, because that guac was so good, and guac is like super expensive, so I was shocked that they had it out there. But yeah, that it's so delicious, and it's pretty cheap because you just get the bowl for like $10 or whatever, and then you can put as many toppings as you want.
Yeah, there's that. The Dole Whips, of course, those are, now if you get the swirl, it's not, but the straight up Dole Whip is vegan, and it's just, who doesn't love a Dole Whip?
Yeah, for sure. It's a staple.
And then the only other thing I really know of in Magic Kingdom, there's of course other things, but the Skipper's Canteen. I've been there in almost 2 years, but last time I went, and it was on the menu last time I checked much more recently, they have a really good pineapple tofu they call it a curry, but it's not like a traditional curry. Like it's not, there's no liquid really, which you can associate with a curry, but it was really good. And what I think is cool about canteen, they have and I think it was a Melbic I had when I was there, and I don't know the one, something that actually took me a long time to learn. Not all wines are vegan, but research will let you know if you sit down at a Disney restaurant and you would like a glass of wine with your dinner, but you really want to keep it vegan. There's a website called Barnivore, and you can head to it and type in the name of pretty much any wine, and it'll let you know if it's registered, not registered. But if it was made here, there's like fish and gelatin and casein and egg whites and different things they use to filter out the skin, the grapes. But then lots of places just use yeast, other things completely vegan.
Yeah.
So, but tap though.
That's a good resource for sure. I never knew about that. I have just a couple for Magic Kingdom. The first one, I don't know if you've had it, but it's the Casey's Corner plant-based hot dog.
I still haven't tried that. And I had one in California. Got a similar thing, and it was like it had like lentil chili, and it was a vegan dog. But I haven't had the one in Magic Kingdom.
Oh, it is so good. It has like a coleslaw on top and like corn and like a barbecue aioli sauce.
Oh man.
Oh my gosh. It is so good. That one, and then in Liberty Square at the Harbor House, they have a hummus sandwich.
I have had that. I had that last year, and it was really good.
Yeah, and the like homemade potato chips that they make are so good. Probably not very healthy, but they're so yummy.
Yes, I love those.
They also have a vegetarian chili. I don't really know why it's vegetarian and not vegan, because I don't think it has cheese or like sour cream or anything. But that one is really good. It's at Harbor House as well. Those are the only two like specifically that I wrote down for Magic Kingdom. And then of course for like snacks at like pretty much all the parks, I had listed like that the popsicles are vegan, like the fruit at the fruit carts, and then you can get those like pickles in like the bags. So that's pretty cool. And then I also read that the popcorn and pretzels are vegan as well.
Yeah, definitely love popcorn. I worked at a movie theater for a long time, so got a soft spot.
Yes, and I feel like Disney popcorn is like extra good. I don't know if that's just because I'm in Disney, but I feel like it's so delicious.
I think there's some merit. Yes.
Right? I feel like they use some kind of special, I mean, it's not butter, it's more like an oil, but it's super good. And then lastly, for this one kind of goes with both Magic Kingdom and Hollywood Studios, but there's an ice cream called Tofutti, and they have it at the ice cream parlor, and also they have it in Hollywood Studios at Hollywood Scoops, and it's so good.
I feel like I don't know if or not. I don't think that I have actually.
It's really good. I mean, they only have like chocolate and vanilla, but if you go, okay, this is a little hack because I used to work there, but if you go to like the Main Street ice cream shop, the Plaza Ice Cream Parlor, you can get like a scoop of chocolate and a scoop of vanilla, and then you can get melted peanut butter on top. And yeah, it is so good and completely vegan. So that is super delicious. And I like it in front of in Hollywood Studios because it's right across the way from Fantasmic. So in Fantasmic, I always want to treat before I go in. So it's super convenient. Well, that's all I have for Magic Kingdom. So if you want to pick our next location we're traveling to.
Well, my next one is actually really close by, and that is in the Polynesian.
Okay.
Most people might hear that and think, isn't that basically meat on skewers? So, okay. Yes. But if you have enough of an aversion to meat, it's like walk around, because they do have like they carry around skewers of the meat and they'll put it on your plate. But they have so much food that is either vegan or vegetarian. You have to ask, because like when you sit down, first of all, I mean, I obsessed with Polynesian stuff to begin with, and then you add me the Polynesian and Disney, and I'm just kind of in heaven. And when you sit down, have you been there before?
I haven't, no.
Okay, so amazing pineapple coconut bread, and it might have animal products in it. I mean, be vegan at least for sure. And it is just amazing to begin with. And then they bring you a salad, which again, I think it's vegan. It has a vinaigrette instead of like a creamy dressing. You know, sometimes they sneak stuff in, but as far as I know, it's also vegan. And then if you tell them you're vegan, you can try to in advance, although it's really hard to do that in advance unless I don't know if there's a note on the My Disney Experience app when you're making reservations or not. There, they can accommodate very quickly. So it's okay to, you know, when you check in, you can let them know.
Yeah.
In half hour early for reservations anyway, so it's, you know, kind of at least 30 minutes in advance. And while they're bringing everyone out pot stickers and chicken wings, they'll bring you different kinds of like crackers and things with different hummuses, and it is
cool.
really good. It's like different kinds of bread and like pita crackers and like hummuses. It is so good. And then for your main course, they bring you your own bowl of this like in noodles with tofu. And then also the other side dish is vegetables and the noodles, like peanut noodles, and apparently that's also vegan. I don't think there's butter in it. I think it's oil based. And then for dessert, the bread pudding I just ate anyway because like I avoid meat more than anything. Especially because it's already being brought to the whole table. But if you're being strict again, they have some kind of chocolate cake. I mean, this changes. I do need to say a big disclaimer on anything I'm saying, especially with all of this going on and the parks being so different right now. Anything I'm saying might not be available yet or temporarily, but it was some kind of chocolate cake, something that they'll bring to you if you request vegan dessert. I've never gotten it. I just saw pictures of it, but definitely Ohana is a great place. And if you want to be strictly vegan, it's still good. And if you're okay with a little bit of like if there's eggs in the bread or something, then I'm gonna like roll out of there.
Yeah, that sounds delicious for real.
I'm so hungry now.
For real. I know I'm gonna need a big snack after this. Well, I have never been to the Polynesian, so we can move on to the next place. Oh, I can pick. You can pick whichever you prefer.
I don't want to steal your turn.
Let's see. Do you want to do... Okay, let's do Epcot because that's pretty close to Magic Kingdom.
Yeah.
The only thing I really have listed is the guacamole in the Mexican Pavilion, which is so delicious. And then this one is just vegetarian, but it had to be mentioned because it's way too good. The cheese empanadas at the Mexican Pavilion, those are so good as well.
Yes. So for Epcot, festivals.
Oh, yeah. They have so many options.
Every festival, they've gotten better and better every year. And even have like a travel and Trello's booth, I think, is entirely vegan. Accommodating. If you go to Disney food blog, they will denote all things that are completely vegan and vegetarian. And they have so many amazing options. Festivals. They have like all kinds of impossible. They have a whole impossible meat area. So you can get all this awesome impossible meat stuff, which I really like. I'm partial to Beyond Burger, but actually, well, Impossible tastes better. It's just the Beyond Burger has better ingredient. Like the Beyond Burger doesn't have soy, which can be a factor for a lot of people. The Impossible Burger does, but it just kind of like depends on where you stand on that. Because a lot of people just can't have soy. It's not that they don't like it, so that can be an issue. But they definitely have a lot of options at the festivals and a lot of like vegan options. And they had like a vegan ice cream sundae last year. I never got it, but I saw it because we usually only about 5-6 days during the festival time, and we always split all of our vacation time between Disney and Universal, so I don't really have time to eat everything in the festivals. But there's, you know, if you just look it up, plenty of options. And then San and Hell have so so like it's so good there. So they have like off menu vegetarian stuff, which a lot of it they used to keep it off menu. And last time I went, I think I noticed it was they have a really good vegan dish. You have so that is a big note with the restaurants in Disney is that it might just be vegetarian. The little like V with a leaf on it symbol could just there's no meat in it. So like it comes just fresco and like cheese and everything. And like a cream sauce. And so if you ask for it without it, they just and you get like beans and rice and tortilla. It's still very filling.
Right.
Same goes for pretty much all of the restaurants in the Mexico Pavilion. La Hacienda has amazing vegan tacos, or else they did when I tried it a few years back. But you have to just tell them you want it vegan, and they're very accommodating and very nice. Just let them know you don't want any cream or anything. Now, sometimes they might freak out a little bit and ask you if it's an allergy, because if they think it's an allergy, they'll make the chef come out and talk to you at almost every Disney spot. But if you let them know, just a diet preference, I'm not going to die if I eat the cream. I'd just rather not. But to let them know, because sometimes, like, my mom can't have milk, but she doesn't have, like, a diet allergy. But sometimes, like, I can't have milk. If it has any in it. Big deal out of it when either one of us asks for something dairy free. It's gotta do your job because I don't want someone to eat something. And but also Sunshine Season has some pretty good options in Epcot for vegan food.
Oh
like, it changes all
about
the time.
that.
It's not my favorite. I'm gonna be honest, I don't care for that much, but it's there. It's edible. So, and there are so many restaurants in Epcot. Honestly, I can't tell you too much except really in my family, our favorite kind of cuisine is Mexican food, so we just always go there over and over because love some salsa and guacamole and avocado margaritas. Like I just it.
Okay, you're the third person to tell me about these avocado margaritas, and I've never tried them, and now I'm freaking out.
Yes. Oh my gosh. So they have and avocado and ended up with ice. I'm sure it is. It might be a little bit of a mix because one time I asked without agave, and he said, "Well, it's already in the mix." And I was like, "Oh." I get a little snobby about my drinks. I'm just gonna let you know. Like I like when I want a craft cocktail, that means I can ask for any part of it to be taken out because it's mixed up. I live in a city where we have like multiple craft bars, so I guess I don't know. I'd developed a taste for snobby cocktails, but it can be harder in Disney because a lot of it just mixes. But it's still that one. It is so delicious, and it has like a tahini rim. Like the what is it? La Cava del Tequila, the tequila cave, pretty much is what it translates to. It's one of my favorite things ever. Like I love that little place. It's so loud and there's very much room. But before, man, my jam was just squeeze that little place and getting some chips and an avocado margarita after a long day of riding Frozen and. Awesome. Yeah, that's pretty much all I have for Epcot. But man, between those festivals and their Mexican food, I don't stray very far from that because it's never done me wrong so far.
Oh yeah, there's so many options, and I just love Epcot. I was watching your videos today, like preparing for this interview, and I was just getting like so sad because I missed the park so much.
I know.
Your videos are so fun. I was like, oh, I wish I was there.
Same. Yeah, I can't watch my own videos because it makes me too sad as well.
Yeah.
My mom was rewatching some of them to feel like, we were back there, and I didn't even listen to it. I was like, I miss being able to. I mean, so many people do just go places right now, but I'm not taking that risk. So I'm just like, well.
Yeah.
But, always a silver lining. And when it finally is safe again, it will feel like the first time all over.
Right.
So, it will be really awesome.
It'll be more special.
Yeah.
Yeah. After all this wait.
Which, little side tangent, we have to talk about your mom for a second because she's
Okay.
one of my favorite parts of your video. She is so funny. Oh my gosh. When in your birthday vlog, when she was like, something is not right here, when she was setting up your camera, I was cracking up. And then you did like a live stream like a month or two ago, and your mom, I feel like she's like your biggest fan, like watching you in the other room. Oh my gosh, it's so adorable. I just had to mention that really quickly.
Yeah, she has such a good sense of humor, and she loves to go along the adventure. So yeah, she is always such an awesome part of my videos.
Yeah,
a fun comment, and she always helps me make sure I'm not doing something stupid, because I do stupid things very often. So, yeah, she loves Disney. It's her happy place. So we usually go on an annual girls trip, 2 of us, and that is one of the saddest things about this year, is that we couldn't go on our annual girls trip, and that's so sad. Hopefully next year we'll be back normal with our girls trip. We go at Halloween, and we do a Halloween party. We go to Universal too. We usually go to Volcano Bay, because even on Halloween it's, hot as can be in Florida. So
right.
But yeah, I'll let her know
that's so fun. Yeah, she's seriously super funny to hear all of her comments and stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. Well, I only have a couple more, but you probably have quite a few. So the only ones I really have left are at Animal Kingdom and Disney Springs, and then I'll let you take full reign.
Okay.
So I guess we can start with Animal Kingdom. The only thing that I have is there's this cart by the Asia area, and they have falafels, and they used to have samosas, which were so good. They were completely vegan, and they came with like a mango like salsa. I don't think they have them anymore. And the falafels, they've kind of downgraded, I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, it used to be like this really delicious vegan sandwich, and now it's like 3 pieces of falafel and like a bed of lettuce. So it's kind of sad, but I figured I'd mention it just in case they do change the recipe back one day, or it is just an offering that's there. They also have like an allergy friendly cart, which has like donuts and stuff that are vegan, and it's kind of like when you're walking towards the Asia Pavilion is the best way I can describe it. And that cart is really nice, especially if you have a child that has a lot of allergies, because they have like nut-free desserts and stuff there as well. But those are really the only offerings I have at Animal Kingdom. I'm not sure if you have any more.
Yeah, so on your podcast, I don't know how long podcasts are supposed to be, so I don't want to make this like ridiculously long.
Oh no, you're fine.
So I have just a few more I can make snappy work of. So for Animal Kingdom, Mad Lounge is my hands down favorite thing about Animal Kingdom, and
it's called the what?
Mad Lounge.
Okay.
So it's connected to the fancy restaurant Tiffin's, which I've never actually eaten in. But then they've got the Nomad Lounge, which you don't need a reservation. You can make one. No, actually you can't. It's walk, like it's just a lounge, and they've got some of the best craft drinks I've ever had. Like I had this amazing drink, and I mean, I'm sure it's vegan. I actually. I could be mistaken, but you have to watch beer and wine for animal products. But as far as I know, I could be very wrong, but to my knowledge, spirits are vegan. So I tried a couple of those, and then they had this bread service that changed my life. It was all of these like really unique African breads, and like lentil flat bread and some kind of rye bread, and then it came with these amazing things like a tomato chutney. I don't remember what all of them were. I'd have to reference my own video to be honest. But then they had Impossible Burger cider pita fries, and it's easily
so good.
It was such. You know how when you're in a theme park, you can start to feel like you haven't eaten real. I'm doing like bunny air quotes, real food in a while. Like it starts to all feel like kind of like junk food and not really like real food. This is real food. Like it just hits different. It's so good. The South is also a good place. really good crispy tofu. You have to watch their sauces though, because they have this really fine print on the menu that says like sauce like bean vinaigrette, not vegan or something. So you have to specifically ask, but it's a build your own bowl thing, so you can kind of control that. And then Restaurantosaurus actually has, last time I checked, vegan chili or vegetarian chili on the bar for you to just go get.
Oh, that's cool.
I know. And then they also have like the really good mushrooms, and that's I think that's my dad's favorite place. And they just have a regular black bean burger is the only thing like to write home about, but you should go there for the toppings bar and the free drink refills. Because I don't drink soda in my everyday life. Like this entire year, I think I've had soda 2 times. But when I'm in Disney, that Coke Zero will find its way to me every time. And it's one of the places I like to get it. So Tule Canteen also has refillable drinks, which, you know, at quick service, be able to down a couple of them.
Yeah, for sure. Especially when you have like the resort cups and stuff too.
Yeah.
Those are super convenient.
That's all I have for Animal Kingdom. And then for Hollywood Studios, all I have to say is run, don't walk. They have like nothing.
Yeah, I feel that. I have literally nothing written down for Hollywood Studios besides like, I mean, there's a lot of vegetarian options like pizza and I mean on that one, what is it called, Sunset Boulevard, they have the Tofutti ice cream there, and then they have that cart that has like, you know, the fruit and the hummus and the pickles and stuff, but it's mostly just like snack foods, I feel like.
Blue milk and green, and I've tried the blue milk, and it's like, to me, if you melted down the sweet parts candy but took away the tartness, so it was just like the sweet part of it. It's kind of, in a weird way, how I describe that taste. I enjoyed it. I liked it was frozen and really refreshing. Now, the Sci-Fi, in one point in time, had the best vegan burger I tasted in my life. It was like so good. There was this one memory I have from about 3 years ago. My entire family, and like I've already joked about my brother like making fun of vegan stuff. My brother, his late mom, and I were all sitting at the table, and we all ended up ordering the same vegan burger, and we couldn't even speak. The whole meal was in silence because we were all just like, our minds were so blown by how good it was. It was vegan, it was fresh made, like a house fake meat thing. I mean, there's a place for fake meat, but sometimes that good old hand-packed veggie burger, there's just no substitution for it. Yeah. It had this amazing bread, and it was huge. And it came with these awesome fries, too. And they got rid of it. It literally devastated us. Like, so honorable mentions to what you, Disney, please hear my cries. Bring back your vegan burger at Sci-Fi. It was just so.
Oh, dang. I still never eaten at Sci-Fi, but it looks incredible, so I really want to go one day. And
it's so worth it.
The prime time.
Yeah, I haven't been to prime time in years. I think they have some vegan options, but I haven't been in a really.
Yeah.
Sci-Fi is worth it for the experience, and they have like really good milkshakes and stuff. It's just got that food. And I haven't been there in so long. They might have new items, amazing, but like we kind of just spited them, or we shunned them after they got rid of our burger. And I love Pizza Rizzo. It's just a simple, you know, veggie pizza. It's got cheese though, but I love that kind of deep taste because it's like so thick and doughy, and a lot of people hate it, but I really like it. I don't know, it's just easy to grab, never too crowded. They've got, I think they have mobile order. I'm not quite sure, but now downtown Disney, it's the place for like when we go back to park food. My favorite place to get vegan food in downtown Disney, I keep calling it that, Disney Springs. Disney Springs. I can't believe I have down written down. That's how. Okay, wow. Disney Springs. The Polite Pig is actually
Mm-hmm.
And the title is a great place to get vegan food, and they're really nice about it. So it's pricey as heck. It's like $15 for 3 sides, but it's called Veggie Plate, and they'll make almost any of them vegan. Like they had a watermelon feta salad, they just left off the feta. They have caramelized in whiskey. They had like street corn, but I just asked for it without the sauce on it. And some other I've tried that if you ask them to make a vegan, all of it has like the animal product or the cheese right on top of the finish. So that's a good place to go. It's not super filling, but it's really tasty, like a lesser meal.
Yeah.
But you still want good. I really suggest the Polite Pig, and they have like a cocktail on tap, which I hate beer with a burning passion. So when something that's not beer is on tap, I'm just very intrigued by it.
Yeah.
It's pretty good. And then Frontera Cucina I went to once. It had cheese in it, but they had an amazing vegetarian potato enchilada, which you don't really associate potato food as much, but when it's more authentic instead of Americanized, I've noticed it a lot. It's so good. And then of course there's Aaron McKenna's.
Yeah, I had that on my list too.
I finally tried. I was helping my and they were like half the sales.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so it wasn't like it was more of a technicality that it wasn't my favorite.
Yeah,
it's definitely fine. Like I wouldn't say don't eat it.
Yeah, I feel like they used to be called something else because when I was vegan back in like let me think, maybe like 2014, 2015, I remember distinctly I had like my 18th birthday at Disney and my mom got a cake from there. And I feel like it wasn't called Aaron McKenna's, but it all the stuff looked exactly the same. And at that time I was just super thankful to have like something like of an offering, I guess. Something that I could eat. But I definitely agree with you. Like the portions are a little bit smaller. And I feel like you have to get it like pretty early in the morning because I've been a couple times at night and it's not like very fresh. And sometimes like it's just like kind of, I don't want to say stale because it's not stale, but it's kind of like hard, I guess is the best way to describe it.
Yeah.
So that's unfortunate, but it is an option if anybody is looking for it.
Yeah, like it wasn't bad for sure. It just it didn't blow my mind per se.
Yeah, I agree.
I have some honorable mentions, but I don't know. And are we allowed to discuss Universal here?
Yeah, of course.
I know sometimes that can be another like controversial theme park thing. Is it just Disney? Is it the Ford versus the Chevy? I don't know.
Oh no, I'm totally Team Universal. I mean, I used to work there too, and I'll tell you a secret. I actually liked working at Universal more than Disney. So I know.
Interesting.
That's pretty controversial too. But yes, let's definitely talk some Universal.
I don't have much for it because I didn't know. I didn't want to add too much to everything. But the Voodoo Donuts in City Walk, they have the best vegan donuts. First of all, you would never know that. They are so good. And they have cool flavors. Like I think they have like peanut butter and jelly and then like glazed chocolate. And Voodoo Donuts is literally one of my favorite treats of all time. And I'm not going to lie, I usually don't get the vegan one because, you know, I'm on vacation. So I allow a little bit of butter. But, you know, as far as just vegetarian food, really, really good. And, you know, I try to keep a more laid back approach to veganism because I feel like when you're too strict about it, it scares people off and they don't want to hear about it. They don't want to learn.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, a lot of true vegans will, you know, really get annoyed with you. Like, well, you're being half-handed. But, you know, I'd rather make a reach to the people who at this point would never consider it than keep appealing to people who are already doing the good work, if that makes sense.
Yeah, for sure.
So I try to keep like a much more relaxed, like you can be casually vegan because even being vegan one meal a day helps the environment like crazy. Just that one change, you know?
Yeah. Like, I mean, even that goes back even to like World War II when they did like meatless Mondays. Like,
Yeah.
any little bit helps, I feel like.
Another thing is the Three Broomsticks in Hogsmeade is just the most perfect fall restaurant because it just has that, like, everything about Harry Potter feels autumnal to me. I don't know
I
why.
agree.
And you can get like a really good veggie plate. I've vlogged it like quite a few times, and all of their veggies, unless they've changed it, are automatically vegan. Like sometimes you have to ask like for no butter, but they just steam the veggies and they don't put anything on them. And so you pick 3 veggies. I think it's again like $15 or so. They give you like the whole like corn on the cob, like with the actual husk on it, which is pretty cool. Like they peel off like the outside where you eat, but like the stem part of it. And then like baked potatoes or fries or just steamed veggies. They've got some options, and it's just absolutely magical to sit down to like that big plate of veggies that looks so like old timey. Like you feel like you're in an old pub for real because the corn is like that. And in that setting, it's just, that's definitely one of my favorites. Mythos has a vegan dish I tried one time about a year ago. I don't know if they still have it again because I haven't been able to make it this year. So it's kind of, you know, my my tips might be a little outdated, but they do usually have a vegan option. I actually really enjoy Mythos. I've always had a pretty good experience there.
Yeah. I think it's like the #1 themed restaurant like a few years in a row or something too.
It has said that on the door since 2014, and I'm starting to really question the legitimacy
I know, right?
of that.
I'm gonna have to look it up for sure.
The theming is, I can understand about the theming, but Antojitos is another really good one. Like I said, I love Mexican food, and they have like the guacamole made at your table.
Oh, that's the best.
They have an entire vegetarian/vegan section because almost every vegetarian thing could be made vegan, like, you know, really quickly. So that's another really good place for like fajitas and tacos and enchiladas and all kind of good stuff. And then the very last thing on my list is actually the Volcano Bay veggie burgers.
Okay, I've heard about these.
So, oh my gosh, they have like the Beyond Burger as an actual completely vegan thing with vegan cheese and everything. My mom got that, and it was really good because I'm always stealing bites of her food. And then I got the quinoa burger, which I think it was vegan, except it had a non-vegan aioli sauce, which you can easily get it without it. It changed my life. It like was one of those hand-packed quinoa mushroom. It also had like a mushroom garnish kind of burger, and they come with these really good fries, and the bread is really soft. And I don't know if this is something you have to check with in the restaurant. I know they had a distinguish between one that was fully vegan in every way, and then the one I got that was, I think it was also vegan but more vegetarian. It is so good, and I love their fries too. Like one time I was there and I just got fries and fruit plate, because they have like really cool unique tropical fruit like with lychee and stuff instead of just the typical, and of course that's vegan. So yeah, that's pretty much my list. I know there's more that I just either haven't tried or I didn't want to list all of them. And the West Coast, though, is the place to be if you want some good vegan food in Disney and in downtown Disney, because it's just more vegan friendly there in general. But yeah, those are all my picks for Walt Disney World.
Yay! Okay, awesome. Well, hopefully that helps anybody listening who has like any dietary restrictions when it comes to like vegan, vegetarian. I think that list was super helpful, and you've given me so many that I want to try too.
Yay, I'm glad I could
They all
help.
sound super delicious. And to wrap up the episode, I have a game. So for all of my guests I brought on, I've played a different game. So for you, I've created a Disney Would You Rather. And I think it's going to be fun. Some of these are pretty difficult, I'm not going to lie. So just be prepared. Okay, so my first one. Would you rather have an all-expense-paid trip to Aulani or to Disney Shanghai? Alani.
Alani.
You're going there for your honeymoon, not Alani, but to Hawaii. So that's exciting.
Yeah, and we were going to the same island that Alani is on, to Oahu.
Ooh,
So
nice. Maybe you guys can go for dinner or something.
actually, I think I'm lying. Actually, I think that's on Maui.
Oh, okay.
I forgot. I did all my research a while
Mhm.
ago. I forgot which island it's on. We're going to 2 different islands, so I forgot which one is where, but it's somewhere. I feel like it was on one of the places. It might have been on Maui. I'm coming on, but I can't remember right now. But yeah, I love Hawaii. I've never been there yet, but like sometimes you can love something without having been there before, and I love Hawaiian everything. So
Okay, next one is, would you rather eat at Cinderella's table or at Victoria and Albert's?
Victoria and Albert's is on like my life bucket list. They also have a vegan selection you can
nice.
ask for. So definitely Victoria and Albert's one of these days.
I want to go so bad.
I know.
Okay, my next one is, would you rather stay at the Grand Floridian or the Grand Californian?
Grand Californian, because that would mean I'm in California.
That's fair. Okay, Luke's not going to be happy with me about this one, but would you rather kiss Prince Eric or Prince Naveen?
Gonna have to say Naveen.
Yeah.
He's just awesome, and Eric just doesn't have that much of a personality to me. He's just like a classic trope prince, whereas Naveen, like The Princess and the Frog, to me is actually the best of the princess stories, of the most like real world inspiring. Like she saves him, you know, he turns into the frog and he needs the help, and he's just got quite the personality. So yeah, definitely Naveen.
Totally fair. I think Naveen is like one of the coolest princes for sure.
Definitely.
Okay, would you rather have unlimited access to food and drinks in the park or unlimited fast passes?
Food and drinks, because I could just sit there and eat and drink
all
stuff
day.
all day, but because I can hit some stuff.
Yeah.
I pick food.
That's fair. That's totally fair. Okay, my next one. Would you rather stay in Cinderella's castle or live in Walt's apartment? Yeah.
I'm gonna say Cinderella's castle.
Yeah, it's like nearly impossible to get in there.
Because that would just be so cool.
And then my last one is, would you rather have every character's wardrobe or have unlimited spending on merch?
Ooh. So either cosplay for the rest of eternity or merch. Oh my gosh. Okay, this one. Okay, that really gets me. Well, okay, I'm gonna pick the less selfish route, because if I pick the merch, I can get anything I want for anybody in my life, and like I can even give if I needed to give stuff away. And so I think I'm gonna go with the unlimited merch. Also because I can cry myself to sleep over how much I love certain ears.
And, yeah.
Like I tried so hard to get my hands on the new Parisian ears.
Oh my gosh, I want those so bad.
And then well, you know Bob and Kelly, right?
Bob and Kelly, yeah.
So they just went, and Kelly was so sweet to go look for me, but they were already gone. Like within the 4 weeks between when they came out and when they went, they were already gone in a month, and she didn't see them anywhere. So I felt like I was so close, but alas, it has escaped me for now. But one day in the future, I will have the macaron ears. But I bet you anything, someone went and bought up all of them to resell.
I guarantee it.
One day, you know, it took me forever to finally get the rose gold ears, and then I did snag them one day. It was a glorious day. So,
one day.
One day.
I feel that. My stepmom, she looked for me when she went, and same thing. They did not have any left. And I was so heartbroken because I want the same pair.
Yeah.
So
well, hopefully it
one
will
day.
be, in our futures. We'll put ones near the parks if you ever see.
Right.
2 pair of ears. I'll PayPal you back.
Exactly. I know, right? Hopefully they bring them back soon, but I guess we'll see. Because I know production and everything is like halted with everything going on. So
Yeah.
okay, awesome. Well, I guess this pretty much wraps everything up. We've been talking for so long.
I really hope I didn't go too long.
No, that's okay. My last few episodes have been super long, but I actually enjoy when podcasts are long because I listen to podcasts like a couple days at a time.
Yeah.
So hopefully people enjoy like taking a break, I guess, listening to
Yeah.
more later.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for coming on and taking time out of your schedule. This was super, super fun. And
thank you so much for asking me. I had such a blast. Like, this was one of the most fun things ever. And I don't know.
Yay!
It means to me that you invited me.
Oh, of course. And I know we've planned a collab on our YouTube channels. So we still need to figure out what we're going to do.
Yeah, so I recorded on my camera while we were talking. So I mean, I know 4.5 videos, like bits and pieces, and tell everyone to come check out yours podcast too.
Aww.
So, but yeah, for a collab, I'm not good with coming up at collabs.
I'm horrible. I totally feel that. Yeah, I'm sure we can think of something fun though.
Yeah, definitely, guys. Soon as an idea strikes you, I'll be thinking too. So.
Okay, I will for sure keep thinking of them. And let everybody know real quick what your socials are.
Okay, so I am Alli as always on everything, and that is ALLIASALWAYS. So I'm Alli with just an I and 2 L's, and on Instagram it's all over. On YouTube, all the A's are capitalized. But there's might be spaces in it. I don't really do TikTok anymore. I don't know. It's still a thing. Like, didn't Cheeto Man ban it, or like, what is the deal with that?
I think they have like a certain amount of time to sell TikTok to an American company before it gets banned.
Oh, well, I was always on there too. If anyone wants to check out my dusty old content from a while ago. And I have a website that's like Alli is always .with/Alli is always. It's on my YouTube page. I never remember the URL because it's really complicated. Because they want you to like pay to make it just yourname.com and get the free and complicated URL.
Yeah.
Like that I like do, but yeah, I think it's I have a Pinterest also, Alli's always, if you want to follow any boards there. It's more nerdy stuff. If you follow my social media, you're just gonna get blasted in the face with Lord of the Rings and Witcher media.
Hey, that's totally fun though. I know a lot of people like really enjoy that content. And for those of you listening, specifically for this episode, Alli does a lot of like Disney videos and a lot of like vegan foods and stuff like that. So definitely go check her out. I'll have everything linked in the show notes down below. And yeah, this was super, super fun. I hope that you have a great move in the next couple weeks.
Thank you.
Of course. And let me think what else I need to say. If you guys want to follow our Instagram page for this podcast, it's at the Mouse Club Podcast. And I guess that's pretty much it. So I hope that you guys listening have a great week as well. And yeah, bye guys.
Bye everyone.
Thank you so much for listening to the Mouse Club Podcast. To find us on Instagram, follow us at the Mouse Club Podcast. You can also find us on Facebook at facebook.com/the Mouse Club Podcast, or on our website, themouseclubpodcast.com, to find all of our episodes, links to our social channels, and our YouTube channel, which will be coming soon. To follow our host, Marissa Potts, that's me, check me out on YouTube, Marissa Potts, on TikTok at marissa.potts, on Instagram at Little Miss Mariss, MRS Mariss. Thanks so much for listening. See you next week. Bye.